Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If you looked inside of a dictionary for the words standing on business, you might see a picture of the guy that I'm about to show. Family, it's not the easiest thing to keep it real. You know, a lot of people say keep it real, but they don't really mean it. They're just talking, you know. In fact, most of the people in the world are fake as they come. There are way more fake people in the world than real people in the world. Most people in this world, as Kwame would say, are go along to get along. Yeah, go along to get along gang. But not Jose Velasquez. Man. Check this dude out.
The Karmelo Anthony trial. Well, basically the altercation between him and Austin Metcalf. And the thing is this. All right. For all you people that are getting on my video I made a few days ago, and you're basically saying Karmelo's guilty. And let's just say, for the most part, most of you motherfuckers are just some sick fucks. And you guys are either racist or just dumb as fuck. But I'm not going to say 100%. I'm going to say this. If you think this is what happened, that Austin went up to Karmelo by himself and just was like, hey, man, you got to get up out of here. And just did that. And then Karmelo stabbed him. Yeah, it makes sense why you would think Karmelo should go down. If that's the only context you believe that happened, then yeah, it makes sense to you that, and I would agree with you, damn, that's all that happened, he shouldn't have stabbed him. But that ain't what happened. And the fact that you're omitting everything else makes you a sick piece of shit. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you like this. All right, say this happened. Say me and any three motherfuckers that you know, yourself included, went to a bank. We all know each other. We go into a bank. And you have no clue what I'm doing. You just assume that what I'm about to do is just withdraw some money. And I decide, without letting you know, that I'm about to go up in that bank. And then right when we all walk in, I pull out a gun and I say, all right, everyone put your fucking hands up. I'm robbing this bitch. What are you doing? Think about that for a second. What are you going to do? Right? Think about that. Are you going to do this? One or two things. Are you going to stand there and be like, yeah, he's robbing this bitch. Or are you going to be like, what the hell, dude? Like, calm down. What are you doing? Think about how you would respond to that. All right? Now, let's say you go with the first route, where you sit there and you go, try to puff up your chest and like you tough as fuck, right? The cops come barreling in there. Are they going to think you are part of the robbery? Or are they going to think that you had nothing to do with it? Now, keep that in your mind for a second, because I'm about to break it down to you. All right. Because then I made it, in that first video I made, I said that, and I'm saying this right now, the more I think about it, they should arrest Hunter Metcalf. All right? Because we know.
Boom. They should arrest Hunter Metcalf. But that's too much like right. They're not going to do that. Hunter Metcalf. Why would he say that? I mean, Hunter is the grieving brother, the grieving twin brother. I mean, imagine you with this guy all the time. Y'all dress alike. Y'all came into the world seconds apart, maybe minutes apart. And he dies like a few steps away from you. And you provoked the altercation. That's right, I said it. There are a number of people who said that Hunter, Austin's twin brother, is the one who facilitated that altercation. He is the one that threw the first punch, not shove, not push, punch. And it wasn't just a regular punch. They said he threw a haymaker. Yeah. But y'all don't want to know nothing about that. All you know is he killed him. 35 years. That's all you know, right? That's all you really care about, right? I got a question. I want you to think about this before I let Jose jump back in. If Karmelo was white, would you still be outraged? See, that's the question y'all like to ask us when there's black on black death, black on black murders, right? That's what you like to ask us. Would you still be outraged? Think about that for a moment.
We know for a fact Hunter had something to do with what happened between Austin and Karmelo. How do we know? When the shit first went down, what did Hunter say? We. He didn't say Austin. He didn't say I. He said we, meaning him and Austin and a couple other friends were telling Karmelo what to do.
Are y'all paying attention? Hunter, Austin's twin brother, in his initial statement said, we told him. And then next time around, he said he said Austin. How convenient that he puts it on his dead brother. Austin said, and he stepped out of it. Hunter, if he has any conscience, he is going to be haunted by this for the rest of his life. Knowing, family, imagine you did something to cause your brother to be killed. If not for your actions, your brother's still here. And for those of you who say, well, he didn't do that, he didn't try to stop it either. That's what Jose is talking about. He didn't try to stop it. He sees it's going on. A responsible person would say, hey, man, that ain't for us. Stop that, man. We don't do that. We're not doing that. Stop. Hey, Austin, we got too much to lose. Hey, man, we're already on suspension. Hey, man, they already messing with us by messing with the girls. Hey, man, leave it alone, man. We done reached our bully quota for the week, man. Leave it alone. No. Hunter, at the very least, watched it happen.
They were telling Karmelo what to do. You can't omit that out of what you think how Carmelo's guilty. You can't omit that. You can't say that happened and then leave that out because Austin's the one that put his hands on Karmelo. You can't omit the fact that the rest of them were involved. Why can't you? Because in the state of fucking Texas, the multiple assailant, there is a fucking law. Multiple assailants are the equivalent of a weapon. So the fact, and don't lose me here, the fact that they all approached Karmelo and they all were telling him what to do. All right, now think about that for a second. You have no right to say that. For one, Karmelo ain't got to listen to what thing they fucking say. He can sit where the fuck he wants. He ain't got to listen to what them motherfuckers say. If they tell him to move, he can decide to move, or he can just sit the fuck still. Your problem, that's how I know you got some sick fucks. Your first thought is to say this, that Karmelo was the provoker because all he had to do was move. Well, you know what the initial thought should have been? All they had to do is not fucking put their hands on him and tell him what to do. That's all they had to do. All they had to do was go run and tell the coach. But they didn't. They decided that they were the authority and they owned his black body. That's what they acted like. They owned his body and they get to tell it where to be. No, they don't. All right. So who are you to say that Karmelo, sitting down, who never got up, has to look up at Austin because you think there was only Austin involved? But like I said, Hunter already admitted that he was involved too. You think Austin or Karmelo's going to look up at Austin and then see his twin brother and think to himself, all right, if this turns into a fight, I'm sure the guy that looks exactly like him is not going to help him. And I'm sure the other two dudes are not going to help him. So he had every reasonable feeling to believe, all right, they're against me. They are against me. So at the point he had that feeling, and then it escalated from them telling him what to do to one of the attackers putting their hands on them. That's multiple assailants, you stupid fucks. The moment that happened, you can't just omit that. Because
Well, actually, they can and they did because they always moved the goalpost to exactly where they needed to be at so that they can score. Ain't that something? Isn't that interesting how that happens? Yeah, fam. There's a whole lot of folks out there who try to control black bodies. It's like Jose said, you can't tell that man what the fuck to sit. You ain't what do you say? You ain't the boss of his body. Y'all better cut that shit out thinking you can tell people where they need to be at and where they should be, where they shouldn't be. Self-deputizing. And it seemed like to me, quite frequently, you only really do it to black folks. Because I have yet to see a slew, even just a small amount of clips, video clips, anything viral of white folks telling white folks where to be, where they need to be at and get away and you don't live around here. Yeah, I don't hear that. I don't hear them doing that to other people. So when you say you're making it about race, they make it about race all the time. It starts off with race, which I do not understand. I just can't get it. So, because for me, it's all about what type of person you are, man. It's about what type of person you are. Because I'm going to tell you something, fam. I've been burned by black folks. I've been burned by white folks. I've been burned by Latinos. And I've been burned by Asians. I got a bad experience with everybody, at least once. But it didn't make me hate everybody. You dig what I'm saying? So that just goes to show me that a lot of y'all was raised to hate. A lot of y'all. Yeah. You was raised like that. Because I wasn't. When I would watch television and my mama would see white folks on TV, she never identified white folks as hunky or cracker or any of those disparaging words. She always said, white man, white woman, white boy, white girl, white people. But some of y'all, when y'all watch television and y'all saw a black person on television growing up, your parents said, nigga, look at that nigga. Hey, nigga, yeah. You know how I know? I used to work for a guy named Terry Sizemore at the Houston Chronicle. And he slipped up and said the N-word one day, and I checked him about it. I was about to mollywop him. I was about to drag the hell out of him. But I caught myself. And I just asked him, what made him think that was cool? And he told me, when I used to watch television growing up, my mom and dad would see somebody black on television and they just say, nigga. And I just grew up saying it, but I'm not racist though. I'm not racist. Because I said that, I'm not racist. Some people think that they're not racist because they don't actively get in the way of black progress. They think they're not racist because they don't ride around on the back of a pickup trying to harm black people. But like Terry Sizemore, they will limit your opportunities if they have some type of authority over you. If they're your manager and they're the route manager, they can let you out into distressed neighborhoods where people have a bad experience with receiving the paper, right? And then they can let you out in brand new neighborhoods where everybody wants the paper. Yeah.
you can look up the law. One of them has to attack them. Not all of them, just one. Once one of them does, and they were all involved, they're accomplices. The same way you're in that bank, if you're standing with your chest puffed out, and you ain't trying to stop me, right? And even if you ain't trying to stop me, you ain't letting it be known, look, I ain't got nothing to do with this shit. They didn't do that. They didn't say, yo, Hunter, what are you doing? Or Austin, what are you doing, dude? Just calm down. They didn't do that. They stayed there in an aggressive nature, showing Karmelo, we are in solidarity with this boy.
Mm-hmm.
We are against you. The fact that they did that makes them all accomplices. That's why it's a big deal. It doesn't matter if they all put their hands on him. One of them did. One of them did, and they were standing there trying to intimidate Karmelo. That makes them multiple assailants. So the fact that that was happening, you can't omit that. And the fact that you are makes you either racist or you're a dumb piece of shit.
I ain't got no problem with that. Jose, salute, man. Salute. Yeah. I do want to clarify something, though. So, multiple unarmed assailants do not legally equal a deadly weapon. However, follow me now. Legally being attacked by a group is generally recognized as a disparity of force. This means a group attack can justify your use of proportionate lethal force in self-defense if you reasonably fear death or serious bodily injury. And this is the talking point that everybody is making, well, not everybody, but a lot of people is making about the Karmelo Anthony case. Why didn't he testify? Because nobody knows if he reasonably feared for his life or serious bodily injury, because we did not hear him say that. So, but at the end of the day, that's cool to have on record, but I don't care what was said, fam. They had made their mind, the jury made their mind up before they were even selected. Before they even got a letter saying that they were required to come to jury duty. They already had their minds made up. The judge had his mind made up. The defense had its mind made up. And the prosecutor had his mind made up. Karmelo Anthony was railroaded. And I know some of you don't give a damn about that, because as Jose said, you're either racist or a piece of shit. No more talk.